Action. Almost 3 years after Justice League's theatrical release in 2017, 2021 is finally giving us Zack Snyder's director's cut of Justice League. The Justice League that we should have seen a long time ago. This is another trailer they dropped at DC Fandom, and it looks awesome. Zack Snyder himself has said that pretty much every shot in this movie is going to be completely different. It is his own. Zack Snyder was finished 80%, if not a little bit more, of his Justice League movie. Just before he could finish it, well, they let him go. They got Joss Whedon to come in, and that's history. Let's not even talk about that terrible film. Finally, this Justice League movie looks exactly like what we should have gotten so long ago. Superman in his black Superman suit. Batman is not the comedic relief. That's why you have the Flash there. And speaking of Flash, he seems like he's going through the Speed Force, which is awesome to see. You finally get to get more of a character arc of Cyborg. When you first see Cyborg in Joss Whedon's cut, it's just basically like, hey, here's a cyborg. Deal with it. There's no backstory. There was nothing given to you. You're slightly hinted that his father had something to do with it. And granted, if you're an avid comic book reader or you just simply know the backstory of these characters, you can fill in the blanks. But when it comes to a movie, you'd like to see that detailed on screen a little bit more. So I don't know how much detail Zack Snyder's gonna go into some of the backstories for these characters. Because technically after Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg, their stories haven't really been told. Justice League is technically their first introduction into the overall Zack Snyder DC world. And speaking of characters looking as they should, Steppenwolf. He actually looks menacing. He looks like a formidable opponent for the Justice League. And Superman's CGI'd mustache from the 2017 version, thank God that's not in this. Zack Snyder obviously knew that Superman was never gonna have a mustache in the first place. I've heard that he considered a beard, but I think it's just simple enough. Superman comes back from the dead and he wears a black suit. Maybe his hair's a little bit longer. I don't think they're doing that. But the black suit is what we all wanted. Let's just put it this way. I have a lot of dislike for that 2017 Justice League movie. We've never got a live action Justice League movie, you know, and the one we did was absolutely terrible. So to finally see what Zack Snyder originally wanted for his story arc, it's nice to see. And the fact that it's 4 hours, listen, I understand a lot of people can't sit through a 4-hour movie, let alone a 2.5-hour movie. So that's gonna be a lot to take in. But HBO Max is going to be releasing it in 1-hour segments. Now, I don't know if that's daily, I don't know if that's weekly, but whether or not you want to wait for all 4 to release and watch it at once, or if you're gonna watch it one by one, it is going to be a very exciting watch. Another thing you feel when you watch this trailer from DC Fandom is the fact that it is a Zack Snyder film. The picture quality of it, it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit dimmer. It was so cool when he opened up the trailer with Darkseid. In the 2017 version, I'm pretty sure Darkseid was mentioned once, maybe twice, if that. So to open up the trailer with Darkseid, that's pretty damn cool. I also like the shot that they have in the trailer where he's zooming into what used to be a city and you see all the lava pores spewing up from the ground. You see the massive spaceship in the sky, and then you see the Justice League symbol just lying there in the rubble with Aquaman's trident next to it. I definitely think we're gonna get a lot more scenes of what we saw in Batman vs. Superman when Batman hallucinated the future of an evil Superman. Now, once again, as an avid reader of the comic books, I understood that scene, but I could understand how other people who are just casual watchers didn't really know what the hell was going on. Well, in Justice League, this definitely seems to be Darkseid heavy. I am sure they'll have something where the Flash has to run forward in time, run back in time, or maybe Batman sees another vision, or maybe even somehow they all take a trip to Apokolips. It's a 4-hour film. there's a lot that could happen in this movie. I love the part where Superman is in the fields and he's hugging his mother and Lois Lane. He just looks so happy. He looks at peace. And I think a big thing about Batman, Superman, and Man of Steel is Zack Snyder played with this idea that he doesn't know who he's supposed to be. And he doesn't know what the world wants from him. He also doesn't know what he wants from the world. And I think that scene right there, and granted the fact that it's 4 hours, will come into play that he knows now what he wants and he knows what's best for the world. Superman in BVS was kind of depressing. All he wanted to do was good, but every time he tried, the world would just make him feel like he was unwanted, he was unneeded, and he was nothing. The last person they wanted to see was an alien flying through the sky. But I think in Justice League, the Zack Snyder version, I think we're gonna see what happens to him after death. Almost as if death for him was his way to take a vacation, take a break, soak things in, come back into it, and prove the world why you need Superman. Now, being a massive Batman fan, probably the biggest Batman fan on the planet, we all know Zack Snyder is a huge Batman fan. There's a part in the trailer where they're fighting Steppenwolf and Batman is fighting the parademons. If you don't know, the parademons are the soldiers of Apocalypse. And they're shooting Batman, but Batman, just with his gauntlet, is just taking the shots. That's awesome. That is so cool. Batman is taking repeated shots from an alien gun. Who even knows if you got shot by it, you could be evaporated. You could be killed in one hit. It could melt your skin off. But what's Batman doing? He's taking it like a champ. And that is the Batman we all wanted to see. Even at the end of the trailer, when Flash expresses his doubt and his fear of going up against aliens who have proven time after time that they can wipe out everyone on any planet they go to. And Batman showing how the events of Batman vs. Superman kind of inspired him to be a little more lighthearted in his way of thinking than he was in BVS. And he says, they've never fought us united. And he's just trying to keep the hope and maybe even the fact that if we can work together, we can stop anyone. It is the Justice League. They are the most mightiest of teams ever created in comic book history. Now, there are also details that Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter are supposed to show up in this movie. In the 2017 version, Green Lantern did show up in a flashback scene from thousands of years ago, so it wasn't a Green Lantern we ever knew of. I think Zack Snyder has a much bigger vision. He has a lot of expectations he wanted from himself. And just in general, I really can't wait to see how Warner Brothers takes the potential success of Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. How many people will retain their HBO Max subscription? How many people are gonna get an HBO Max subscription just to watch this movie? And if they do, are they getting rid of their subscription right after watching the movie? Or are they gonna keep it because they realize, oh, they got other good stuff on here? This is far-fetched because we know how stingy Warner Brothers already was with them releasing the Zack Snyder cut in the first place. But never say never. What if, one, they release it on Blu-ray, if it's successful enough? Well, I'm purchasing that 100%. Two, will they release it in theaters? I don't really know if a theater will show a 4-hour film. Maybe they'll do what they used to do back in like the 1940s and intermission. You know, back in the 1940s, that's like 3,000 years ago. Also, if it is successful enough on the streaming service, and even if it potentially got released in theaters, would they possibly say, hey, Snyder, continue your story, continue your next 3 films that you originally wanted to do? That is slim to none. That's like a 1 in a million chance. I mean, first of all, we never thought we were getting the Zack Snyder cut, ever. 50% of people believed in it. 50% of people didn't believe in it, and the people who didn't believe in it were stern about the cut doesn't exist. Well, look, it exists. Warner Brothers gave him apparently more than $40 million to finish the last 15 to 20% of his movie. You're giving him $40 million to complete a vision that will not be continued after you release it on HBO Max. A piece of me here is saying that if it does well enough, continue your vision. Now, where it gets complicated, of course, is Ben Affleck. He's not Batman anymore. And while he's returning for one more role as Batman in the Flash movie, there's still a lot of uncertainty whether or not Henry Cavill will be returning as Superman, which is absolutely ridiculous because he is one of the best parts of DC now. There's just a lot of moving pieces whether or not it could work. If Zack Snyder's Justice League ends up performing well, I'm gonna throw all my chips in now and say I'm all in for him to continue his vision. I hope it happens, and I hope, even though it's very, very slim, I hope Warner Brothers considers giving him his next shot. Alright guys, there is so much more I could say, but that's all I'm gonna say for now. In the upcoming weeks and months, there will undoubtedly be more videos about this current discussion now. Anything DC and Justice League wise. Alright, and just like usual, I'll see you all soon.